Hey, what's going on, guys? So we have some crazy Nintendo Switch 2 leaks that are kind of a two-parter going on this week, and we also have some really cool stuff that's being released soon. So without further ado, let's talk about this week's video game news. First thing I want to talk about is there's a huge Nintendo 64 leak that happened, I guess either early this week or late last week, that all sorts of assets and things were dumped. But one thing that came out of this was very, very interesting. Now, if you've played Super Mario 64 like me and most people my age, and most people probably in general by now, you'll know that that game had Mario, Peach, some Toads, the standard enemies, of course. And if you were really, really good and got 120 stars, you could see your boy Yoshi. Spoiler alert. But one thing that was oddly missing is Luigi. No Luigi in the game. When they re-released the game on the Nintendo DS, they of course added back in Luigi, Wario, and they had Yoshi as a playable character. And I say added back in because now that they've found these like crazy old ROMs and stuff, they found that Luigi's textures and models were originally in Mario 64. That's right, your boy Luigi was not forgotten, he was just removed. I don't really know what to think about this other than the fact that it's just pretty interesting. I assume because everything was cartridge based, and I'm not gonna lie, that game is huge for really what you got on the 64. They maybe took him out for limitation reasons, but I don't know, I thought that was really interesting. Like I said, they're still pulling more and more data off of this huge leak to kind of see what all happened way back when. But the fact that Luigi was in the game is kind of cool. Makes you kind of think, hey, they didn't just kind of shaft him, for no reason. There had to have been something, because he was at one point going to be in the game. I was going to save this next thing for a little bit later, but I really just can't. I'm so excited about this. I've been excited about this for actually quite a while, and I'm just going to jump right into it. The company Analogue, who makes very nice, very expensive, high-end consoles, is, if you don't know, they're coming out with the Analogue Pocket, which is going to be their Game Boy. It is actually finally going out for pre-order next Monday. That's August the 3rd. It's going to be at 8 a.m. Pacific time, which is 11 Eastern. And it's a little pricey, just like all their stuff, but man, there are some awesome options. I'm probably going to be getting most of them. The handheld itself comes in, of course, black or white, and it's $200. Out of the box, it comes with a USB-C charging cord. Of course, it's rechargeable batteries, and it can play Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advanced. Now, the reason I personally want this, I have a ton of Game Boys. I don't need another one. I have some modded ones and all sorts of stuff. The reason I'm excited is because they are actually having a dock for it. Now, the dock is a separate purchase at $100, but the dock has 1080 HDMI out, and you can, of course, play on your TV. And then for me and the channel, it'd be very easy to record extremely high quality stuff without having to run through my FrameMeister or any of that nature stuff. Right now, I can play those games via the GameCube, but I don't have any way of upscaling my GameCube right now. I don't have one of those Eon adapters. I need to probably get one, but they're pretty expensive. This is actually going to solve that problem. But that's not even the best part. The best part, like the real reason if you're a retro gamer that you should really push for looking into this, is for $30 each, they're also going to have cartridge adapters that let you play the Game Gear, the Neo Geo Pocket, and Neo Geo Pocket Color, and the Atari Lynx. Now, I don't have any Atari Lynx games, but if you've watched my channel for a while, I recently did a Neo Geo Pocket Color backlit mod, and to my knowledge, I'm sure there are consoleizers out there, but there's no easy way to play the Neo Geo Pocket Color, the Lynx, or the Game Gear on your TV. So this is like going to be the one-stop shop. It's a sleek looking system. One thing that is kind of a bummer is like a lot of things nowadays, it doesn't include a power brick. You have to buy that separately if you don't have one. Everyone should have one probably laying around, but that's no excuse. I still think if you're buying this premium console for $200 and likely going to spend an extra $100 on the dock, they should probably include the power brick, but that's just me. But what do you guys think? Are any of y'all interested in the Analogue Pocket, or is it just me? I'm obviously for sure getting one. I'm going to be hovering over the the refresh button, waiting for pre-orders, because I don't know if it's going to be limited or not. They weren't too clear on that, but if it is, I feel like this is something that's going to go very quickly. And speaking of pre-orders, usually I don't highlight something like this, something so small, but this is so cool to me. If you are a soundtrack fan, and you're also a record collector like moi, the Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 albums are now pre-orderable on limited run games. Now this is especially cool because these went out for pre-order a while ago, and this is a reprinting. I saw the announcement with the original company a while ago and tried to pick these up then. They were sold out within seconds. I actually have a friend, a really good friend, who runs a record store, and he even said that he couldn't get any. So the fact that Limited Run Games has gone through and now has an open pre-order for the Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 records, it's amazing. I'm definitely getting them. In fact, since it's Saturday and it went up yesterday, I've probably already gotten them. But the cool thing is it also comes with a download code, so you can put them on your iPod, your phone, whatever you listen to nowadays. And the cool thing is, like I said, those two games have, to me, iconic soundtracks. Just really cool, really good video game music. You know, going for a bike ride, listen to the beach theme or Station Square theme. It's just amazing. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit too hyped, and other people won't be, but like I said, it's something I'm really looking forward to. So if you are looking forward to the Sonic soundtrack, just know Limited Run Games has it available for you on vinyl record. Last but not least, we gotta talk about the Switch 2. Now, the Switch 2 has been rumored and whatever for like years now. You know, they want to do something. And earlier this week, a huge, weird, like non-existent rumor happened, but then a follow-up happened. So let's talk about the first one first. Now, the non-existent rumor was for a Kickstarter from the people who made Suikoden. They've actually come out with a new game, and so if you know anything about Kickstarter, they try to say, hey, these are all the platforms we're trying to make it for. Now, a big thing that has happened in the Kickstarter world in the past, not anytime recently, was in the transition from Wii U to Nintendo Switch, a lot of Kickstarters that were going to be on the Wii U got scrapped because the architecture was very different, so they ended up canceling a lot of those games. Now, when you look at this Kickstarter, they said, hey, it's coming out for the Xbox One, the Xbox Series X, the PS4, the PS5, and Nintendo's next-gen console. And that freaked everybody out. They're like, oh, what's Nintendo's next-gen console? We gotta do it. Everyone was going nuts over this thing. The internet caught on fire. But the thing is they were just covering their butts. You can actually go down to the next paragraph, and it literally says something to the effect of, hey, if like a new Nintendo Switch comes out, it's gonna be too hard, likely, kind of like with the Switch and the Wii U, to like reverse engineer it back to old graphics. So they're like, whatever the next Nintendo console is, or the current Nintendo console at the time, that's what we're making it for. So that, you know, should have put out that fire, and that would have been the end of the story. But then Nvidia kind of half leaked maybe some kind of thing that could lead to a Switch 2, and that is they were talking about they're looking for some positions for the actual line that makes the Nvidia chips that go in the Switch, except for specifically wanting to do that checkerboard 4K that kind of the PS4 Pro does. So if you don't know, the PS4 doesn't have like real 4K. It has like the checkerboarding. Like I'm not saying like that's bad or anything. It's just like that's what it uses, and it looks good. I mean, if you have a PS4, it doesn't look like crap, right? Well, so a lot of people are leaning into the fact that it's the same chip line, it's a viable, cheaper option to 4K, and it would kind of keep the architecture the same. So it's kind of like a Switch 2 or maybe a Switch Pro, in the sense that you can take your old Switch games, hopefully, and put them on this system that would have a better resolution. I think that that's kind of realistic. I mean, once again, this is all speculation, but I think that's a very viable thing. And just imagine, you've already seen Breath of the Wild, you know, snuck onto a computer and like up-res to 4K, looking amazing. Imagine that on your TV, just with your Switch. I mean, so many games can really be scaled up in such a good way, especially any example of cell shading is perfect for that. I mean, Dragon Ball Fighters, some of the Ys games, God, the Xenoblade games, they would look amazing this way. But what do you guys think? You know, obviously the first rumor is trash and should be thrown away. But what about this Nvidia thing? Do you think that possibly they could do that kind of checkerboarding, make a Switch Pro, and maybe even have it out next year? And if so, is that something you would invest in? I definitely think I would. I would like to hold off for like a cool special edition, but I don't think I'd be able to hold off for too long. Anyway, you know how I like to ask you guys a fun question at the end of the news videos. I think I'm going to go RPG related this time, and I want to know what you think about RPGs. Now, this question is going to be very specific. Genres of RPGs. I kind of want to, you know, I'm going to use this as maybe a poll. I don't know. I'm very interested. But if you're an RPG lover, are you more of a turn-based RPG, action RPG, or strategy RPG person? I know there's more kind of subgenres, but those are the three main things: turn-based, strategy, and of course, action RPG. And, you know, I'll lump in like card battle games as turn-based, because technically you are taking turns, even though it's, you know, a little different. But tell me what you think. I don't want to sway any views with my thoughts. I will say one thing, because I've said this on multiple videos before. Out of the three, the one I personally don't like is strategy RPGs. Not because they're bad, but I've said this before on the channel. They just take too long for me. Like, just to do one small section, it just feels like it's too much. But anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm kind of interested to see what kind of RPGs you are playing. And that's going to do it for us today, guys. Thanks again for watching so much. I love making these videos for you guys. Please leave a thumbs up or thumbs down if you feel any kind of way about anything we talked about. Drop that in the comments. And as I keep saying, we're getting oh so close to 3,000 subscribers, so join up if you haven't. And as always, take it easy.